Hey guys, it's your boy Aijalonwallace here with Nomad Recruiters Academy. I have a new student that I want to introduce you guys to. It's Michael. He's here to tell his story, his experience with Nomad Recruiters Academy. This is a more laid back, chill interview. So I'm going to ask him a few questions to get his thoughts on the program, his experience with some of his deals recently. We're going to jump straight into it, man. So, how's it going, Michael, man? How's your day going so far, brother?
It's going pretty well. I'm enjoying this Friday.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
looking forward to the holiday weekend, so it's going pretty
Yeah,
good.
man. July 4th is coming up, man. Yeah, man. I appreciate it, man. So, man, just to jump straight into it, brother, I guess I always like to ask my students, what made you choose me over, other competitors, and how did you even come across me out of curiosity?
I came across you on YouTube. I would frequent, YouTube and Google trying to find tips here and there. And
Yeah.
then your price, I felt your point was good. I've heard of some other programs that,
Yeah.
cost, kind of in the mid to high thousands and whatnot. So
Yeah. 5, 10,000, 20,000. Yeah, man. It's
yeah,
some
yeah.
yeah,
I just thought that was crazy because it's like if I'm trying to learn how to profit, where am I gonna have that money?
the
So
capital. Yeah, the capital
exactly.
supports you. Yeah, that's understandable, man. And to be honest, it's one of those situations where, it's not to say that some programs are not worth that much, but you gotta also just feel all the way confident with the program if you're about to spend that much money as well. It's a lot of money to invest, especially if you haven't factored in your software tools and appliances. And a lot of people don't think about that. They spend 5, 10 grand on the program, and they don't realize you may have to spend 500 to 1,000 on LinkedIn Recruiter. You may have to spend a couple $100s on Indeed, Monster. You're gonna have to pay for a website. You may have to assist, hire VAs. And they're not factoring in, all the prices at the end of the day. So it's good that that is a very good point, man. So tell me a little bit about your background. Do you come from a recruitment background, or what were you doing prior to this, and what made you want to get into recruitment?
Well, for me, I did not come from a recruitment background. I do have a background in graphic design,
Okay.
majored in Florida A&M University. Also, I have some freelance experience here and there. So
Okay.
between my freelance experience, I had some full-time roles doing customer service, loan processing.
Yep.
So in around like 2020, I
Mm-hmm.
decided to, I wanted to start a business because I had like full-time jobs, but they weren't really leading up to much, in the
Yeah.
future. So I felt, like I always said, like I got to promote myself. So I
Uh,
started a recruiting business because, again, on YouTube, I saw a video, someone mentioning, how you could get into recruitment. So I
mhm.
started in recruiting. So I was
Yeah.
having some wins here and there, but I just
Hmm.
wasn't consistent. Consistency is what I've been missing. So
Hmm.
that's
Okay.
what, where I decided, get your course and
Yeah.
whatnot.
So before you joined the program, which is impressive, you already had 3 clients.
Hmm.
And a lot of recruiters, that are experienced or potentially people who already have, who don't come from a recruitment background, but they may have clients. They may ask themselves, well, why would I buy a program? You know, I got clients now, I got jobs. Why do I need to go buy a recruitment coach program? And I guess, man, I'm just curious how curious from your point of view, what made you still think or want to purchase, Nomad Recruiters Academy if you already had deals and had clients?
Well, for me, it was business, business development,
Yep.
learning like how to do market research on my niche, things like
Hmm.
that are really important. Learning other ways I could reach out to candidates. So
Yep.
that is the main reason why I got the course because
Hmm.
business development, I've had some clients, but it's like I feel like I could be getting way more clients.
Yep.
That's something I'm probably not doing correctly,
Hmm.
and why haven't I been consistent? So
Okay.
that is the main reason why I got the course.
And I guess going back through, going back through, your reasonings. You mentioned one of the things that stood out to you was price, but was there anything else, I guess, that stood out to you? Because I ask these questions because a lot of students sometimes they have this people who want to push my program. They have this reservation, like, I really want to buy this, but I don't know. And it's like, well, I'm not here to be a motivational speaker. It's kind of one of those stages of do you want to quit your 9 to 5? Do you want to work for yourself? Do you want to be independent? You got to take that action. I'm not here to motivate you. As you know, I always preach, I can't teach hunger. You got to have that hunger at the end of the day, and I guess for you, man, what was your why to invest in yourself? Like, besides just, buying my program, but it had to be something that was just like, look, I'm just tired of my current situation. And I guess, what was that for you?
Well, yeah, it was pretty much the fact that I started this business May 2020. So it's been
Mm-hmm.
2 years
Yep.
being consistent. So it's like, okay, let me really invest. And the reason why I decided to also go to your course, aside from price, was, I always do my research. I didn't really
Yep.
see bad reviews or anything in your YouTube
Yep.
video. I did see how you mentioned that you were a recruiter before. So it's like, okay, you have experience
Yep.
as well. So, and then of
Yeah.
course, during the course, I could clearly see with everything I've learned, I could clearly see you really have experience. But
Yeah.
that's me what stood out, the fact that you have experience and like it was like, legit reviews, no bad reviews or anything. So it's like, okay,
Yep.
I trust spending my investing into this, and
Yeah.
I'll get something out of this.
Right. And just out of curiosity, so when you purchased Nomad Recruiters Academy, you get inside of the program. What's your first thoughts? Was it a holy shit moment? Because it's so much information. What do you think as soon as you log into the program? I mean, what is your thoughts about everything? The look, the style, the feel. What was it?
At first, I was like, I saw the modules. I just took a glance at each one first, and I was like, wow, there's way more info
Yeah.
than I thought. Like, I didn't think it would be this much. I thought, okay,
Mm,
remember how I mentioned I'm mainly getting it just to learn, some business development, how to get more
yeah.
candidates.
Hmm.
But it's so much more. And then, especially the first
Yeah.
module as well, I didn't even expect that. And that's like, that was a pleasant surprise, too, the very
Oh, the
first module.
mindset, the mindset
Yeah,
content. Yeah.
mindset.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, wow, so I'm really getting my money's worth. So that
Yeah.
was a good, pleasant surprise.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's yeah. Some students say it's almost like buying two courses. So
Yeah.
so so we had a group coaching call last week. We have weekly group coaching calls at the moment, um, and you closed your first deal
Yeah.
for what was it? Was it 26 or 30,000? How much? 26,000, 30,000? It
It was for 26,000.
was 26,000.
Mhm.
And when we hopped on this call, there was a lot of stuff that you did not go through before you purchased Nomad Recruiters Academy.
Mhm.
And but you were still trying to make sure you got this deal over the line.
Exactly.
And so this is for a senior product designer role. So your niche is what, the UX UI design space. You specialize in UX UI product designers.
Yeah.
And let's just go over some of those, I guess, that week. I mean, the benefits of having a coaching program, having a being able to, I guess, to talk to me weekly. What would you say are the benefits, being that, you were in a very, I guess, almost last minute situation where you had to get your ducks in a row, and if
Mhm.
you didn't have this coaching behind you, it could have probably backfired in so many ways, depending on the approach that you took. But what would you say are the benefits of being able to speak to a coach, when you join their program, and how it assisted you?
Yeah, the benefits was, is helping, push me over the edge, give me that extra push that I needed, knowing like
Mm-hmm.
what I needed to say to get it done, what to look for.
Yep.
'Cause, I just had to really double check in with the candidate, see what were her reservations
Mm-hmm.
before signing the deal, and of course,
Yep.
speaking to you on that call, you telling me what I need to find out, what I need to go
Yeah.
over, and I was able to get to the bottom of the
Right.
situation and get everything closed.
Right. Exactly. Now the thing about it, one of the things that you mentioned was, um, I guess when you first started working on the position, you forgot to, I guess, mostly identify your position
Mhm.
in, with the relationship between you and the client. So people, I guess, people don't realize that a lot of recruiters, we're the middleman. It's our job to speak to our clients, our candidates, and it's our job to speak to our clients and relay the information, because recruitment is all about control. And you were in a situation where you didn't have control because you didn't establish that relationship when you first started working with that candidate. So I guess the situation was, last week you told me, with your candidate, about the offer process. Can you just go over that again? It, it was how the client sent your candidate offer without you knowing.
Yeah, so what happened
Mhm.
was the client had sent over the offer,
Yep.
the candidate, because generally with other clients I had before in the past,
Yeah.
to me, then I'll call up the candidate, let them know about,
Hmm.
get it signed and send it over. I'll use like Adobe Sign or something so that they can sign it
Hmm.
digitally and then send it back to the client. But in this case,
Yeah.
client had already sent it, and they said that, my mistake, I'm sorry, I forgot to fill you in that I had sent
Yeah.
the, and then I was trying to figure out, how what happened exactly, how
Since you
come
didn't
they
hear
had,
back from your candidate.
yeah, and then how come they
Mm-hmm.
had such a long time
Mm-hmm.
before to accept it, because generally it's 3 days is
Yeah.
the max amount of time that they
Exactly.
on the offer letter. In this case, it was about 2 weeks. So
Hmm.
I was wondering, why, what's going on. So then I was able to get in touch with my candidate, figure that
Yep.
out. And of course, with your assistance telling me,
Hmm.
what I should look for, what to say, I was able to get the deal closed.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, now taking your course, I would never make that mistake
Right.
again. I know how things need to start from the
And then,
very.
there's one big ass mistake you made. Do you
Mhm.
remember what question I told you forgot to ask the candidate when you first started interviewing them?
Are they interviewing with other people?
Exactly.
Mhm.
And this candidate went. So a lot of people I try to, and this is why I say, this is important of coaching, because Mike had this beautiful candidate, ticked all the boxes, went through what, 3 interviews,
Yeah.
and so over a span of 3 to 4 weeks, and the candidate went ghost, and we didn't know why.
Mhm.
And I was like, well, Mike, did you ask the candidate, are they interviewing anyone else? And he was like, oh, fuck no, I didn't.
Mhm.
And because a lot of candidates won't give you that information if you don't ask. Because they don't know how, they're afraid sometimes, they don't want to miss their opportunities. But it's important that we ask this question because we want to know, well, what's the other competitor offering? We want to know, and then we want to compare apples to apples because we want to be able to sell our position more. So if a candidate does say they're interviewing with another client, well, maybe that client wants them to go in the office compared to the job we have is
Mhm.
remotely. Maybe our job is more convenient if they have children. They can drop their kids off to school and come back home versus having to go to an office and spend 2 hours in traffic. So we need to be able to know who they're interviewing with so we can, kind of, highlight all the positives about our role and without being so negative about their position because it gives us a upper hand. Now, since you've been in the community as well, Mike, you are part of a private Facebook community, and
Mhm.
we're pretty active in it. We're pretty supportive. Would you say? I mean, what are you seeing the benefits of being a part of a? It's almost like you're a part of a fraternity sorority. Like you have a team of brothers and sisters that's there to help you because we all have the same goals. And how's that experience been for you as well since you joined the program?
It's been pretty good interacting with everyone on Facebook, but
Hmm.
really the main benefit is the weekly calls,
Hmm.
day calls, hearing other people's experiences.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they'll ask a question that, I may not think of, or,
Yep.
who knows, may ask a question that someone else wouldn't think of. So
Hmm.
having those, the coaching calls live and everything is a big, big help.
Yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, would you say, I guess as well, um, so I always tell people before they join my program, I don't guarantee results. It's really what you put in, what you get out at the end of the day. But all the information is in the course, and all the steps and tools to succeed. It's almost impossible for a person not to be successful
Mhm.
joining my program because I give away so many different strategies. A lot of my strategies, a lot of my competitors only offer one sales strategy, and that's usually just the automation pitch. But I have a various entrepreneur, strategy. I think I have like 7 or 8 different sales strategies to help people win. I guess what would you say to the average person thinking about joining my program? I guess you know in a sense of how it's going to benefit them or help them succeeding, but also at the same time helping them realize you got to do the work. Like I'm the real deal, but you have to put the work in. I can't wake you up in the morning. I mean, what would you say to that person who's looking to join the program and they're just hoping that money's going to fall from trees, you know?
I'll tell them that with this program, you'll get what you put in. This
Mm-hmm.
program should pretty much answer all of your questions.
Yeah.
Because not only do you talk about, the process, find a candidate, find a client, you also talk about scenarios, go into
Mm-hmm.
depth with that as well. You talk about the mindset, of
Mm-hmm.
course, as well. So that helps, but they have to want it. If
Yeah.
they, because I assume one could
Yeah.
assume if they're willing to spend, an investment, some money
Mm-hmm.
on the course, that they want it. So
Yep.
as long as they want it,
Mm-hmm.
they don't think it's gonna get rich quick, or they could just do things on
Yeah.
autopilot and it would work out, then
Yeah.
they, they'll definitely be good.
I remember we had a student in my program. She had just bought a very expensive bag, a purse for almost $2,000, and
Wow,
she took the purse back to the store to buy
mhm.
my program. You know,
That's
and
good.
she, and she's like, oh, I just bought this bag yesterday, and it was
Mhm.
just like, man, we have to invest in ourselves, especially with the state of the economy right now. I think
Mhm.
eggs are $10, steaks are $29, gas is $10. The average American, studies are showing that most Americans have a side hustle because their main job is not even able to support them anymore at this stage, So, man, I wanted people to hear your story, and I wanted people to understand, it's always good to have a diversity and selection of people on the channel, because I want people to know, you can do it, but you got to start. It's kind of one of those if not now, when situations. You know what I mean? But I guess for people that are, you know, they're hesitant, you know, on starting the recruitment agencies, what advice would you give to them? Because a lot of people feel you got to have a lot of money. A lot of people feel that you got to be rich. And I show a lot of different strategies on ways that you can approaches you can take without going broke. I think that's what another benefit of my program. But what would you say to someone that just making a lot of excuses? Because usually I tell them don't buy the program. I say don't purchase it. If you are a procrastinator, you're not an action taker, and you make a lot of excuses, don't purchase. I'm not a hard seller. I'm not these coaches pitching 10,000, $5,000 programs. I want people in the program that's going to win, because you know if you don't win, I don't win. To be honest, because I'm selling a course. So if my students aren't successful, I don't win at the end of the day. But what would
Exactly.
you say to somebody that's constantly just keep putting it on hold or keep waiting? Because you started, like you said, your story, you started in 2020 and it just wasn't consistent. You was like, man, something got to change.
Mhm.
So what would you say for someone that, I mean, as far as saving them time, as far as them taking action, what would be your advice?
I would tell that person, if they really want to start, they can do it. Like
Mm.
for anything, any human need, if we really want something, we'll go get
Yeah.
it. We'll make it work. If we're making
Hmm.
excuses, maybe it's fear,
Hmm.
may not believe in themselves, or they might
Yeah.
not really want it. It's one of those things. So if somebody really wants something, they can go
Mm.
get it. Focus on how to make it work rather than why it won't work.
Right.
So that's the main thing. So if someone really, really wants it, they'll focus
Hmm.
on how to get it done.
Right. Exactly, man. Exactly. I mean, for you, I mean, you're the living testimony. At the end of the day, you made your first deal uh, pretty much without before you joined Nomad Recruiters Academy, and just got a little assistance on my hand. And now you already are working on more jobs using the tools to better prepare yourself. A lot of people don't understand that sometimes you may be able to find a client or candidate, but if you don't know the right questions and
Mhm.
you're put in different scenarios, you can waste weeks and months of
Exactly.
losing everything because you didn't have the information. I think I told you about my red flag strategies inside the program, but we had I had a student that paid to speak with me on my coaching call, and she got burned from a client out of $150,000 in placements because she didn't vet the client. And the client, she made 5 places with this company, and now she's trying to sue this person, and she got to spend extra money to sue this person because she
Mhm.
hired 5 people for that organization. and it's just a shit show at the end of the day. You know,
Mhm.
in regards to the program, would you say it's pretty organized? Because we have a search box for you to be able to search for things.
Mhm.
I mean, is it more, anything else about the inside of Nomad Recruiters Academy, um, that you really like that makes it stand out, or really has helped you compare it to programs potentially? I don't know if you ever had other entrepreneur programs or any other programs in the
I
past, but yeah, what do you think makes it stand out a little bit more?
I would say is the organization helps a lot. Like you have the sections, pretty much the sections of what's what. So if you kind of need to jump back and check on something that's not disorganized, you could just jump right to that section,
Yep.
get your refresher video and take a look
Hmm.
again. Also, you could find any of the PDFs in the course as well. The
Yep.
search bar works very good too, because once you type in what you need to search,
Yeah.
it just
Pops
pop
up.
right in. So
And you
all of
like
that.
the videos as well.
Yeah, yeah, I do like the videos. They're organized,
Hmm.
and they're very smooth as well. So
Yeah, man. It's I like the fact that you can speed up the videos if you're a fast learner at the end of the day as well.
mhm, exactly.
So it's a lot of different strategies at the end of the day. I think you're in a really good niche as well. The UX
Mhm,
UI space, that was my first like niche when I first started out, and then I
mhm,
transitioned to data science. Man, I was heavily involved in a lot of AR VR companies.
mhm,
And man, yeah, and I loved it. It was fun. And I tell people all the time, choose a niche that you love because it will make the job more exciting. So I remember one day I had a candidate from Korea, and he was my first placement actually, and his English was horrible.
mhm,
And I was, as a recruiter, you got to sell your candidate to your client. So I remember his first interview, I told the client, yeah, and by the way, guys, he has a strong accent. I didn't say he couldn't speak English. I
yeah.
say he had a strong accent. But the thing about UX UI and working in the product space, that your work can speak more volumes for you at the end of the day than the language you speak.
Mhm,
So he built a quick design for the VR company. It was amazing, man. He did it within like one day and got offered the job. This candidate was making $90,000 for 5 years, and I got him 140 plus a 20K sign-on bonus. And I mean, he cried, man.
yeah.
This man had a wife, he had two kids, and he was just like, no recruiter, because a lot of recruiters will always turn him down because of his English skills were just very bad, and he was bad. And I spent weekends practicing English with him,
Mhm,
for interviews. So I would ask him interview questions. And I was like, all right, respond this way and say this. And it was work, 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 work. But I
mhm,
mean, man, the beautiful thing about our job, besides making money, you just made a $26,000 deal. The beautiful thing is that we're genuinely helping people at the end of the day. You know what
yeah.
I mean? Man, I can, people ask me how my day was. They'd be like, man, I helped the mom get a 50K raise and she's going to be able to, she's a single mother. I feel really good about that. Besides me just making money, it's a beautiful thing. And I love that, man. I guess, what do you love in a sense, I guess, about this recruitment space as well that stands out to you?
I love that it's needed, and I feel like the unique thing about
Hmm.
this business recruiting, all
Yeah.
students are motivated. The
Hmm.
employer needs a candidate,
Exactly.
business. The candidate wants a better job, or they might need a job, and
Yep.
then as the recruiter, you want to make money, you want to get paid, and you want to help
Yeah.
as so everybody's motivated to do
Yep.
something. And then once everyone's motivated, it could definitely work.
And supply and demand, man. Every time the economy falls, people need assistance with jobs. There's money to be made out here at the end of the day. There's so much money to be made. You just got to wake up and go find it. But if you want it, you can want it. And I tell people as well, man, the beautiful thing about our life, we can make however much we want. I don't sell Lamborghinis. I don't sell mansions. I sell freedom. And that's what I tell people. I teach you how to be free. I'm not here to teach you how to be a millionaire. People know I'm a nomad recruiter. I live in a lot of poor countries. I've been to Brazil, Argentina, Colombia. Well, so when I make a 20K deal, that 20K deal can really last me for 5 to 6 months or longer, depending
Mhm.
on how I want to live. But I usually work 1 month on and 1 month off. I don't have to feel pressured to work every day, 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. I don't have to do that. You know what I mean? So that's the beautiful thing about recruitment. We have students in the program like Daniel, he made over 300 grand last year. We have, I think Brittany, she was just on a coaching call yesterday. She's already close to 70, 80,000 in her first like 90 days, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So you can make however much you want to make, but also you can use this as an additional stream of income as well on top of the other businesses that you may have. I day trade, I have a lot of other things going on. So that's the most beautiful thing about recruitment is so many ways to make money. So man, look, we're gonna finish up this call, man. I guess any final thoughts for people out there, man? Any final thoughts about the program? Any final thoughts for people looking to join the program? Man, give it to me, man. We'll finish it up. We'll finish up the call. Make this short and simple.
Yeah.
Or no, no. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm talking about the ending of the video. Take your time, if you want.
Yeah. So, because this is like one of the few times I've invested in myself. For someone that's had this business for 2 years, kind of trying to figure things out, Google this here and there, YouTube this here and there. It is better to save your time to spend a small investment up front, because that will save so much time, and in the long run, you could make a lot more. Like if I've done this, say I did this early on, like 2020, I could have made way more by now. So you got to think of it that way. You got to think of it that way. If you find a course you trust, you vet the course, good reviews and whatnot. Definitely think of it that way. Make the investment, because it will make you way more in the long run, instead of you taking your time trying to figure out how to do this, how to do that, things together. You just find a course that already has everything written down for you, pretty much, or the book is already written. You just got to, of course.
I agree. And I 100% agree with you about that. I mean, I want people to vet me, man. I want people to, I don't want to be out here as some fraudulent person. You want to be vetted, that's why I have real names. A lot of my competitors don't even have real names on their websites. A lot of my competitors don't even have websites. And, man, if somebody's offering you free content, free ebook, testimonies, reviews, what more else do you want at the end of the day to prove that you're real? You want me to take all my clothes off? What do you want from me? Like at the end of the day, to prove that I want to help you succeed at the end of the day. But I can't teach hunger, and I can't push you to want more for yourself at the end of the day. And that's what a lot of people have to understand. It's like, do you want more for yourself? Do you want to change your situation? And how bad do you want it? Are you willing to put the work in to make it happen at the end of the day? Because it can be you could keep making life hard, or you can make it easy as well, versus, spending millions of hours on YouTube. Man, that shit is for the birds, man. It's for the birds, man. But Michael, man, I enjoyed you today, brother. I'll see you next week on a new coaching call. Man, I appreciate you sharing your story, man. And look, man, I'm looking forward to more success, brother. Get that 26K check. You got a 30-day payout, or when are you getting it in?
I have it at 15 days. So when the candidate starts, then within 2 weeks.
Yeah. All right, man. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. All right, brother. All right, man. Look, I'll talk to you soon. Thanks again, man.
All right. Take care. Have a great weekend.
Thanks.